What's up, y'all? This is Alex from The Rim Review. The Rim Review is a page that offers in-depth player analysis and gives nuance to the way you watch basketball. In today's video, we're going to continue our Film Room series where we are breaking down one game from the previous session of NBA games every single day. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the Thunder Nuggets game. While we are not going to include every clip from this game, we are going to break down a variety of different highlights that explain the various teaching points and strategic choices made within this matchup. Now let's get into it. On this first play to start off the season, the Thunder are going to try to attack Jokic defensively. In order to do this, they're just going to have this zipper ball screen set up the middle right here to get a Chet ISO against Jokic. This is really good because we're now putting Jokic on an island, as defensively is where his weak spots are. We're also getting Chet catching the ball with a little bit of separation, forcing Jokic to have to hustle back, giving Chet a driving lane. Chet decides to wait a second, shot fakes, but Jokic does a really nice job, and while Jokic may not be the best, quickest mover defensively, because Jokic watches so much film and is so smart, he's able to stay down on shot fakes and get a block. Now in this possession, I want to highlight one thing. I want to look at Isaiah Joe. There's a new trend in the NBA where teams, and it's not really new, but it's definitely growing, where teams will space their guard into the dunker spot, which is where Isaiah Joe's going right here. What's really beneficial about this is guards are a little bit more mobile, so if you hit Isaiah Joe here, he could maybe dribble out and do a dribble handoff, an uphill DHO from the dunker. A lot of teams call that a DAO, known after Boris Diaw. And also, by having your guard in the dunker, it takes the big who would potentially be guarding the guy in the dunker. Now there's a guard down there, and Jamal Murray doesn't have the same rim protection as other bigs. There's also just a variety of different ways and types of reads that you can make with a guard that you may not be able to make with a big. That being said, you do lose some of the lob threats that you get by having a big in the dunker versus a guard. I think teams do a really nice job now, kind of mixing it up in between, and right here, the Thunder are going to run kind of this middle ball screen with Chet Holmgren, kind of a step up, while also having Isaiah Joe in the dunker. What the Nuggets are going to do here is, in order to keep Jokic low, they're going to switch Jokic onto Isaiah Joe, and now Jamal Murray is going to come and pick up Chet. That being said, Chet is able to make enough contact on this screen to allow Jalen Williams to get downhill, dump off to Isaiah Joe, and it's an easy touch shot. Now, let's talk about Nikola Jokic because he draws a lot of attention. Jokic is catching the ball behind the three-point line, but the Thunder are immediately looking to double. That being said, Shea needs to be a little bit closer in, or at least a little bit more aware, because when Lu Dort comes to double, or at least swipe at the ball, Jamal Murray has a beautiful cut right down the middle of the floor. Jalen Williams is late and not able to come up. Also, when Jalen Williams comes up, I'd like to see Isaiah Joe come in here to be able to catch the Aaron Gordon drop-off, and it's an easy foul. On this possession, we're going to see a little bit more from the Nuggets, a little bit more from the Thunder in guarding Jokic. So here, Jalen Williams is going to dig and swipe at the ball, potentially turning into a full double. When this happens, we're going to see Shea immediately rotate out. However, Isaiah Joe and Lu Dort are a little bit low with deciding who rotates back to the ball. I think they want to keep Lu Dort down here because he's a little bit bigger, but Isaiah Joe is the lower guy and it's a scramble situation. So I think talk is just the most important thing here. But as you see, Isaiah Joe runs, but when he's running, the pass is already starting to be made. He should be running back to Christian Braun pretty much like as this pass is being caught. That being said, the pass wasn't great. It's a full rotation. And then right here, we're going to see a really pretty Lu Dort, Jalen Williams peel switch, which is when Lu Dort gets beat. Jalen Williams steps up right here. And now Lu Dort just picks up Aaron Gordon. Really great communication and way to make up for this full rotation and amazing defense. That being said, you got to box out. Now right here, Chet is going to set just another middle ball screen. Once again, I want to highlight Lou Dort in the dunker. And then Lou Dort is actually going to kind of set this corner pin in, where he's just going to come right here and seal, allowing Jalen Williams to be open. And so when Chet pops and the Nuggets and MPJ have to pop out, this seal is potentially open for a catch and shoot corner three from Jalen Williams. I think this is the read for Chet here. That being said, Chet attacks the closeout and gets downhill. Aaron Gordon realizes how open Jalen Williams is. He's also completely ball watching. And once again, the dunker's a great spot to be. And we'll see Lou Dort have some dunker movement, shot fake, and a crazy finish. On this possession, we're once again going to appreciate the gravity Jokic has. Jokic immediately draws a double team, yet Christian Braun is going to cut and get an easy bucket. Once again, when you double, Shai's going to have to be alert and be talking out and being ready to get these cuts. But it's also Isaiah Joe's responsibility It's also Jalen Williams' responsibility down there to be the one calling out and say, hey, Shai, there's a back door, because Shai can't see what's behind him. So communication is key, but that's going to get better as the season continues. Right here, the Nuggets are going to run a really pretty play that a lot of teams run. The Kings run this a lot. They're going to get the ball into the elbow, and now they're immediately flowing into the zoom. A lot of elbow, high splits, low split actions are really prevalent in the NBA, especially when you have a big such as a Jokic or Sabonis that's such a talented passer. And we'll see that right here, where Jamal Murray gets downhill, hits the pocket, and then Jokic, he's really good. On this possession, we're going to see a veer first off. So what a veer is, and this is once again a zoom action occurring, but a veer is when Chet starts off in a drop, but because Isaiah Joe gets clipped and is really playing behind Julian Strawther, this is going to be a last minute scramble switch, and now Isaiah Joe picks up Jokic and Chet is guarding Julian Strawther. But obviously that's not a mismatch you're going to want, so they're going to send a double. But when you send this double, I would like to see Lou Dort immediately come to Strawther, because if you're leaving Westbrook or Strawther for an open three, I would rather have a late contest on a Westbrook three than an uncontested Strawther three. That being said, it didn't go in, and getting the ball out of Jokic's hand is a winning strategy at times because of how talented he is. On this possession, the Nuggets are going to immediately push, and I'd like to see a higher point of contact right here. It's very important in transition to meet your man higher, and when you're backpedaling like this, it allows for an easy get downhill for Westbrook, and Cason Wallace just can't do anything, and it's 2 points. On this possession, we're going to see yet another Jokic double team. So right here, Cason Wallace comes off, and Shai makes a really interesting choice. He knows the personnel. Would you rather close out on Westbrook and leave Michael Porter Jr. or stay put? They're going to live with Westbrook taking a three, and they like the result. On this possession, we're going to see Chet set an empty ball screen. This ball screen is empty because there's no one in this location. I'd also like to highlight the fact that Nikola Jokic is guarding Ousmane Dieng, and the reasoning behind that is because Chet is typically the screener in a lot of actions, and they would much rather have Peyton Watson be the one navigating these screens and calling out the coverages because he's significantly more mobile, and they can do exactly what they do here and just switch this screen. If this was Jokic, you would probably see Jokic in drop coverage. Shai's extremely talented, and on these types of empty ball screens, Shai could get downhill, get to the rim, or kick to potential shooters. So by having this switch, now we're able to really blow up this play, and it leads to a Shai ISO. That being said, Shai is really, really good. On this possession, we're going to see this middle ball screen right here. But instead of fully completing the read and getting downhill, Jamal Murray is just going to make a really quick pass to the corner. The reason why this works is because oftentimes the defender that's flat in the corner like this is A, not in the best position to close out and meet their man in the spot, and B, they're immediately looking at the screen. So when you pass the ball this quickly, you get Strawther with an opportunity to rip through and have an amazing driving opportunity. This is a layup that needs to be finished. I would like to see Strawther maybe play off of 2 feet here. He could play off of 2 and go up a little bit stronger and maybe avoid having to take the reverse. Or if he plays off of 2 feet, it can give him more power for the reverse. On this possession, we're going to really highlight transition because that's where games oftentimes are won and lost. And y'all can see this right here. Dario Saric is way too low in transition. Jalen Williams is going to shoot that every single time. And this is what you should be doing if you're a guard. You should, or a wing or any position, because Jalen Williams is more of a wing. He's pushing, looking to score for himself. And if people are going to backpedal like that, make them respect you. Now here, we're going to see the Thunder run a horns action. It's horns because there's guys right here. And this would be known as horns flare, as Chet is going to slip this and get a flare screen right here from Aaron Wiggins. It's a really pretty play design, and because Jokic is in this deep drop coverage, he's focused on the ball, Christian Braun is focused on the ball, and Wiggins is sealing Michael Porter Jr.'s man. So who's there to guard Chet? Nobody. I think if Chet slides a little bit further and is ready to shoot, this is a catch and shoot 3. But he chooses to attack the closeout, make the extra pass, and Aaron Wiggins here. We need to be ready to shoot. But still, we're putting them in. I don't like the fact that we settled for this mid-range shot. I think we had 2 better 3-point opportunities. 3-pointers are always more efficient, especially when they're catch and shoot. But actions like this are really pretty, and I still love seeing the Thunder trying their best to share the ball. On this play, we're going to once again look at Jokic as he chooses not to guard Chet and instead guards Jalen Williams. Once again, Chet is frequently the screener here, and we're just able to blow up their actions by switching these ball screens. This being said, Jokic is caught ball watching, is right here. He's coming in to crack in case Christian Braun has to come and stop this Shea drive. Lou Dort does an excellent job lifting here, and Shea makes a beautiful pass. Lou Dort should be ready to shoot. This is a catch and shoot. It isn't above the brink 3, but it's catch and shoot uncontested. NBA players make this at an extremely high rate, and Lou Dort instead settles for a bad mid-range. I think these are types of things that at any level, you should just work on your shot selection and always being ready to shoot. If Lou Dort is ready to shoot here, catch and shoot 3, it's probably going in, and the points per possession, the expected points on this are far above 1. The expected points on an off-dribble contested mid-range are significantly below 1. That's really important and something you need to focus on. Always go with a 3 over a mid-range shot if the possibility arises. On this possession, we're once again going to focus on how much attention Jokic draws. Right here, he's bringing the ball up, flowing into this early step-up ball screen. And once again, look at Shea. If you're in the loaded corner, more often than not, you're focused on the ball. So what is Christian Braun going to do? Easy back cut, and it's 2 points. Really pretty basketball. On this play, I really like this action as we're just flowing into an early kind of step-up screen. And then the spacing is really nice as Lou Dort is flowing in for potential seal right here. And we could hit Jalen Williams. And then when Chet just has this touch screen and gets out early, Jamal Murray has to come up. Aaron Gordon is just focused on talking because it's the early part of the possession, so he doesn't get back to the dunker. And now it's a Lou Dort seal and 2 points. Now that we're in the second half, let's look at the first ATO play that we're going to see. So this ATO play is going to just start off with an inverted zoom. And now we're getting the ball to Nikola Jokic at the elbow and letting him go to work. We're going to have this split right here between Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray. And the reason why this split is going to work is because Lou Dort is being prepared to fight if there was a potential ball screen coming this way, and then he just gets tangled up, and Jokic is never going to miss those passes. That being said, the shot doesn't go in, and now what's the issue with this play? The point of contact in transition. This is something that you're going to see a lot in the NBA regular season. In the postseason, point of contact is frequently higher, which is just showcasing a little bit more engagement. But right here, low point of contact, and we give up a 3. This is really important stuff. On this out of timeout play, we're just going to see it flowing into a really nice stagger screen right here. And then immediately after the stagger, we're getting an elbow DHO. Now that we have Jokic, because Christian Braun is having to fight through both stagger screens and the DHO, Jokic has to provide some kind of help. Chet gets out, and he is open in the pocket. If Michael Porter Jr. came further over, Shea has a skip pass over here, but he didn't, and it's an easy dunk. On this possession, we're going to see more of just the gravity Jokic has. So we're going to choose to double here. Lu Dort's going to double. Jokic spins. And then when Jokic gets out, what I would like to see here from a rotation perspective is when this pass is made to Christian Braun, I'd like to see Lu Dort come here, SGA come to Brown, and Isaiah Joe come right here. That would be known as an X out. What happens is both Isaiah Joe and Shea immediately take their first step over here. And Isaiah Joe's ready for the X out, but they don't fully commit when this pass fake happens because Shea's trying to make a play. But by not fully committing to the X out, it's an easy layup. On this possession, the Nuggets are going to choose, or the Thunder are going to choose not to double the Nuggets, although Cason Wallace is ready to dig and potentially double later. That being said, once again, it's another back cut where Shea isn't there, but we handle it better because there's not a double. Isaiah Joe is ready. But what do we see here? Look at this. Everybody's inside the paint except Christian Braun. Jokic is looking for that skip pass. He still hasn't made it, but I do think that it was open. Oh, we're just going to flip everybody to the opposite side and let him go to work. That's why he's the best player in the world right now. Right here, it's going to be a really another interesting defensive teaching point. So as this occurs and MPJ doesn't take this shot and cuts, there's no possible way that Cason Wallace is going to be able to get back into the play. So what do? Caruso is going to have a peel switch, catch right here, and now Wallace comes back to Jamal Murray. We're back to even, although Wallace could have closed out better. It was actually quite a poor closeout, so we didn't fully get back to even, but we get lucky on a miss. And then right here, we're running with vision. Here's what I love here. First off, Alex Caruso is perfectly in position to sprint to the corner, which enhances spacing. Cason Wallace is preparing for a paired side right here, but what he's doing is he's running with vision, which means even though his spot might be near this Ball Arena logo, maybe a little bit closer in transition, he recognizes that no one has gotten the rim. Aaron Gordon is focused on the ball and no one's beyond him. So he's just going to run right here. This is a pass that I need Jalen Williams to make consistently. If he just kind of lofts this over, this is an easy dunk. But he takes too many dribbles. I think this pass can be made right here. You can literally just throw it here. You can lead him. You can do whatever. It's 2 points. The pass is thrown late, and running with vision doesn't necessarily work out. But I really love that run from Cason Wallace. That being said, great cut from Caruso, although they didn't really end up getting anything there. On this possession, Nikola Jokic is going to get doubled. So right here, they're doubling Jokic up high. However, this time, Ousmane Dieng is ready to catch this Westbrook cut, and then he passes him off to Shea. Alex Caruso is playing kind of back as he's guarding all three of these guys. They're handling everything. Dieng doubles again, and then Jokic may have gotten fouled there, but Chet gets the block. I think it was a clean block. I remember seeing the ESPN replay. But then look at Chet right here. He's going to start off slow, but then he accelerates, continues to run hard, and he runs up the middle of the floor. And this is why it's important, even if your center is going to be the last one back, to have somebody call the rim in transition. I think Peyton Watson could have easily called the rim here. Somebody has to be there to catch. It's important to fade back out to your man, but if nobody's getting the rim yet, we're still in a transition situation, and we need to make sure the rim is protected, and instead we're on SportsCenter. On this possession, we're going to see Denver try to run a post special for Jokic, but Oklahoma City is trying to get the ball out of his hands. They're sending a double, And once again, the reason why OKC pulled away in the second half in large part was due to a higher effectiveness on these Jokic post-ups and defending them. On this possession, we're going to see this kind of in-between double drag Spain pick and roll action. However, they're now going to twist it. Oklahoma City is going to hedge this ball screen. And then, because Peyton Watson is not a very good shooter, Ousmane Dieng is going to come in really high, or really close to the paint. He's going to shrink in. He's ready to catch Saric. Jamal Murray reads that, and so he's going to make a skip pass to Peyton Watson. That being said, Oklahoma City's going to know the numbers, and they live with that because they know he's not the best of shooters. And then immediately after, what are we doing? We're sprinting hard from Dieng. Shea's looking ahead, and the ball moves faster than you can dribbling. But it doesn't work out, and while Peyton Watson may not be the best shooter, he's a very capable defender and runs hard, and this is why he's on the court given some of the offensive liabilities, because he can do that on defense. Right here, I want to look at what the Nuggets are able to do in transition. First off, we're running with vision as we have this cut here from Watson. Secondly, Jamal Murray is getting all the way to the corner, which is really important for spacing because you're getting the maximum space and you're drawing the help defense. Julian Strawther is running and setting up a paired side. Russell Westbrook gets downhill, skip pass, easy three. On this possession, we're going to set a double drag screen. Oftentimes, teams will have somebody pop. However, this time they're going to have them both roll, and Watson is going to completely slip the play. And then Jamal Murray makes a really nice pass, but Watson can't finish. Now that we're back in transition, we're floating to good spacing, we're passing ahead, and then look at this. Nobody's getting the rim. This was important. Alex Caruso, in my opinion, I think you wait half a second and you throw a lob here, and we're having a dunk. Wasn't the best pass. I also would like to see Dieng use his size, but he does have Peyton Watson on him. But running with vision, once again, does lead to more opportunities. And I guess this will work too. On this possession, we're going to see some more good defensive communication. Alex Caruso is going to come up in a help side situation, step up. We're going to try to see this Julian Strawther cut. Aaron Wiggins is somewhat prepared as he comes in. And then, once again, we're closing out short on Russell Westbrook because he's not that very good of a shooter anymore in his career. He is a good driver, which is why we close out short. And then they try to make this skip pass right here, which does go through. Alex Caruso gets beat. But once again, NBA players are so smart. We're going to see a peel switch here from Lou Dort. We're back to even, and it's a turnover. On this possession, we're going to see the Nuggets pretty much try to force SGA to the left during this ball screen. A lot of teams, when you force someone to their weak hand, they would call that a weak pick and roll coverage. And SGA is being forced to the left. He tries to make this skip pass, but he's a poor throw. However, the extra pass does get Chet an open opportunity, and Jokic is immediately burying himself in the post. He's going to get a foul on that every single time. Once again, speaking of early Jokic posts, this is a way he gets a ton of cheap buckets. He seals early, and now we're flowing, running with vision, and we have two cuts, and it's an easy dunk. On this play, we're just going to flow into this ball screen. Once again, we have Jalen Williams clear off right here, which takes some of the help away. However, the Nuggets are going to switch this. However, because they switched this a little late, Aaron Gordon is now playing a step behind, which is going to make it really hard for him to war over this ball screen. So he gets clipped a little bit. Chet's going to leave early. Jokic has to provide some resistance. The pocket is open. And this might be a game-icing shot, which it was. Overall, it was a really great win for the Thunder and great coaching on both sides. I think both of these teams are going to be amazing contenders this year, and it's really fun to watch and learn from some of the best and smartest minds in basketball. Overall, thanks for watching this video, and we'll be back at it again with another episode of The Rim Review.